I step outside just in time to watch the sunset over the horizon. The sky darkens and the clouds are tipped with orange, then purple, until all that hangs over me is endless black. I really love this artwork, especially with those purple lanterns. Just looks really mysterious and nice. Somehow I feel lighter than ever as I head for the forest. A funny kind of hope settling in my gut. Ezra and August are strong alone, but together. I think back to the moment in Ezra's shop, the reconciliation between the two, the shift in how they hold themselves, a weight finally released. Together, I've no doubt they are unstoppable. There's only one way to find out. Omen and Elaine had entered our realm right on the edge of town, just as the cobblestones fade into dirt. The trees are denser here, everything a little less ominous. Ah, that's why we have those weird trees with the eyes. Ha. I find Ezra and August exactly where they said they would be, both of them looking a little pensive. Ethan, right on time. I know you don't suffer tardiness. Very good. Now, shall we just get on with it, I suppose? Ezra's already laid out his supplies, a neat little pile of strange things you could only ever find in a magic shop. There's also a symbol drawn on the forest floor that looks startlingly similar to a pentagram with a few minor changes. Ezra catches me looking and offers me a shrug as if saying, "Of course," us closing a portal to one of the many hells would require such a thing. Just another day in Lunaris. Let's just get this over with. He pulls a vial from his belt, the liquid dark and vicious. From my experience, I recognize it as demon blood. Omen gave it willingly. I didn't stab him or anything. I think we know that, Ezra. Just checking. He pulls the blood upon the ground at their feet, the faintest shimmer shining in the grass when it makes contact. They join hands and begin chanting. Mnas mina Oeni, from the fire of earth. Quae mina zas, to the fire of hell. Ooh, look, they are starting to glow. The shimmer grows in luminosity, it pulses brighter, brighter still, until it's almost blinding. I step back, watching as their grip on one another tightens, their eyes aglow, legs shaking. Ezra almost falters, but August holds him steady, giving him strength. We say nuke yisas. We call to he who rules this realm. Yes, Yis Kogwa. Close this gate. The ground beneath our feet rumbles. It stutters and shakes from the incantation, a vibration I feel deep in my bones. Yes, Yis Kogwa. Close this gate. Then, stillness, silence. Slowly, they release one another, exchanging appraising glances at their current state. There's some haggard breathing, but they are apparently fine. They turn their attention back to the tier. Or former tier. Is it done? Did it work? Felt the question was too soon. It tunnels up before I can stop it, and it echoes loudly. Yet, if seeing that hazy portal wink out was anything to go by, I damn well better ask.
I think it did. The energy still lingers, but I no longer feel anything pulling at me. Not like I did when we first arrived.
Just turning down the music a slight little bit.
The only way to know for sure is to get Omen or Elaine to check for us.
Alkar? Ezra is interrupted by a chorus of yelling and terrible screaming. As if all at once the air escaped from our lungs, and whatever brief moment of relief we had is extinguished at the sound.
It's coming from town. We need to...
I'll clean up here. Go, I've got this.
I hope nothing happens to him. We both look at him, hesitant, but time is of the essence, and we know we have no choice. Stay safe. Head straight home as soon as you're done. You've exhausted yourself enough for one evening. I will. Lunaris is in chaos. There's blood on the streets of its owner. I'm not entirely sure, but I know exactly what it is the second I see Piper rushing towards us, her daggers drawn. Aura thrums with adrenaline and it bleeds into mine at her approach.
Report.
It's that thing! I saw it with my own eyes! Ugly motherfucker, isn't it? Where is it now?
It was heading straight for headquarters. Had this mad look, like it couldn't see anything else. The witches scared it off and distracted it. It scurried into the forest, but I couldn't catch it.
Good. No one else should face it alone. Ethan is right, we cannot risk losing anyone else. Especially not you two. I look around and see the fear etched across everyone's faces. A creature hasn't made it this far into town in years. Not a hostile one, anyway. They must be terrified. We have to do something to show them that we have this under control, no matter the circumstance. We need to go and find it and kill it. This ends now. Damn right we do!
I'll stay here. They're afraid. This is their nightmare. I can at least try to make sure they feel safe.
I look off into the distance, the forest calling to me. The tips of my fingers tingle, every nerve ending set alight as my adrenaline spikes. Well, I'm the thing that monsters have nightmares about. Let's finish this. We head toward the forest, leaving the town and chaos behind us. I stop dead in my tracks at the house fade out, something telling me to pause, to think. August, you should stay with Piper just in case it... I pause. Taking a breath. I can handle this. Hunter Everflight, I don't doubt that, but I'd hate to leave you alone. I smile at them and they throw me an incredulous look. I won't be alone. They frown, their eyes flicking toward the tree line, and when they relax, I suspect they see exactly what I see. Very well. I fall back and keep the townsfolk safe. They reach out and place their hand upon my forearm, squeezing gently. Their eyes are sad, but earnest. Proud.
Show it no mercy, just as it has shown none to us.
I nod, knowing I won't let them down. Any of them. Yes, General. Reluctantly, they turn on their heel, immediately barking orders at a group of enforcers that scurry toward them. I feel him before I see him, our connection growing stronger by the day. When I turn, he's standing right before me with that smile upon his face.
Thought you
Aww.
might like to go on a date. Don't have anything better to do you?
Oh. Sounds more fun than hunting monsters, but... I roll my eyes at him, but the smile I cannot stifle says it all. Truly a beautiful evening for a romantic stroll, wouldn't you say?
This thing doesn't stand a chance. Not against you and I.
He eagerly grabs my hand, reeling me close and catching me with a fierce kiss. I push my fingers into his hair, tugging at the strands, and smiling against his lips when he lets out an appreciative little purr. It's quick, but that's all I needed. His affection gives me more strength than I could ever dream. Still holding me close, he smiles.
Let's go kick this creature back to whatever hell it dared to crawl from.
Let's fight. It doesn't take us long to find the creature's obvious path of destruction. Blood and ichor cover the ground. Its own, I assume. There's a path of trees that have been felled, jagged claw marks covering the splintered bark. I close my eyes, but Finn snaps me from my concentration when he steps in front of me.
Wait. If this gets bad, I might... change. I would hope you'd never have to see me like that. I know I'm already a monster. I just hope you don't think any less of me when you see what I really am.
Ooh. His true vampire form. For him to think I could ever be repulsed by him is madness. I've seen many creatures in my time, many horrors, but Finn could never be one of them. I could never see him as anything less than the man I've come to feel for. Sounds like we wanted to use a different word. I take his face in my hands, stroking my thumbs over the knife edge of his cheekbones, and a smile. You're not a monster to me. When he next speaks, his voice is whiskey smooth and addictive. Silly of me to think you could ever be faced by anything, I suppose. He presses a kiss to each of my palms before I withdraw my touch. All I see when I look at you is someone who I care about, who I pause, the words feeling heavy upon my tongue. Before I can continue, there's a sorrowful groan that echoes from deep within the forest. It lumbers into the clearing, too close to the town for comfort, too alert and entirely focused on me. Only me. Finn grabs my arm, pressing his lips to my ear. I'll keep it as attention, you attack. Then let it throw you. It straightens up, taller than I remember, but still no taller than me. What if it throws you? Finn smiles, clenching his fists. I watch him transform before me, shifting into something not human. Especially the arm looks really nice with his scales. But beside that, he doesn't look that different, to be honest. The other arm also has this black, bit tribalish pattern. Nice. The once gentle gold of his eyes are swallowed by fathomless black, dark fishes appearing on the surface of his milky skin. His prosthetic glows so brightly that I'm blinded. When I regain my focus, it too has changed, shifted, just like its master. A weapon. When he next speaks, his voice is different, deeper, every syllable shaking. It can try. I propel myself forward, unafraid and kicking up the dirt. I throw back my fist, landing the fist hit with a satisfying smack. The impact reverberates through my knuckles, and I reach for my weapon as the creature gathers itself. Finn and I fall into an easy routine, as if we were doing this together forever. He keeps me alert, keeps it distracted, and I lay into it with every ounce of my unbidden power that surges through my body. We violently clash, nothing but a flurry of frenzied movements and strikes. I swing hard at the beast, erring to stick up to my typical strategy of attack, not letting the furious tempo of this battle overtake my senses. However, there is method to its madness, and its poise and posture remain, something more than brute strength keeping it steady. When finally one of the attacks connects, the creature lets out a horrific scream, something that could bloody my ears, and it near sends me to my knees. I dial back to catch myself, my vision blurring. Finn is fast, more quickly and nimble than anything I've ever seen, but even he is thrown to the ground beside me. He skids to a stop as he hits the trunk of a tree already splintered by the creature's hand. It's strong, stronger than we anticipated, but more than that, despite its haggard appearance, it fights like I do. Calculated and precise, calm in a way no creature ever could be, or ever has been. It fights like a hunter. Finn pulls himself to his feet with a growl, his teeth bared, and his eyes wild. So maybe it is something about the initiation gone wrong, or an experiment? I bring my hand to my face as they circle one another, seeing crimson leaking between my fingers and staining my skin. Finn calls to me, parrying at heavy attacks with relative ease, giving it as good as it gets, but still struggling. I find myself frozen, my breathing heavy, but everything has been laid out before me, and I curse my stupidity for not seeing it sooner. As if the creature has read my thoughts, as if it knows that I figured it out. It gives something of a smile with that grotesque maul. It pushes Finn aside with a startling display of strength, like he's a mere afterthought, and heads for me, transfixed. Its eyes are constant on my form, long, heavy strides gaining quick momentum in my direction. I cannot move, cannot think. It's all haze now. The only coherent thought I have is, If I'm going to die here, all I can hope is that Finn makes it out. It draws back at gnarled arm and I brace for the impact. It's too soon for me to steer myself against the assault, and I feel my body shocked with pain. More Finn artwork. He hot as a vampire. I hear a growl, something primal, something not human, and I see Finn gnashing his teeth, ready to descend. He looks otherwordly, every inch of his body screaming power. As if he's commanding the very elements, everything around us that illuminates, as bright as the moon that hangs high in the sky above us. Brighter. The display distracts it like moth to deadly flame, and the creature turns to face Finn with a sorrowful groan. In that moment, there's clarity in me, my body finally recalling every ounce of training I've had throughout my life. The instincts to survive saturating every nerve. I reach for my weapon despite the numbness in my fingers. I feel stronger, movements more certain, and as I see Finn takes a hit to the chest, I strike with everything I have. Oh, poor Finn. I drive my weapon into the back of its neck with a guttural scream. It sweats at me, blindly, like a wild animal trying to take me off. It stumbles feverishly in random directions, but considerably more sluggish than before. Again, it attempts to remove that thing that will help it meet the maker, but I relent. I hold on, plunging deeper until I can hear the sickening crack of bone. The creature's voice is smaller now, shaking and shaking, as the life form from it is finally torn asunder. It halts its movement until it's forced to its knees, pounds the dusty earth. I wait and I wait until I'm certain it is no longer. Finally, there's resounding silence, and I catch my breath. Try to, anyway. I look for Finn in the aftermath, and I watch as he forces himself to his feet, blood running from his nose and toward the hollow of his throat. He swipes at his face with a clawed hand, licking the blood clean. His eyes remain transfixed up on his blackened palm as he sucks the red from his fangs with a swipe of his tongue. That's when I feel it, warm and wet and running down my ribs. Blood. I almost don't feel the pain through my feverish adrenaline, but when Finn turns and fixes me with wild eyes, I quickly take stock of my injuries. His teeth are bared in something other than that familiar, handsome grin. For the very first time, my instincts tell me not to trust him. To fear him. But it's still Finn. It's still the man that I've come to adore. I slowly press my hand over the worst wound, the one at my side. I feel the initial rush of blood, slithery against my palm as I apply pressure, and I see Finn's nostrils flaring. Finn, it's okay. It's over. His gaze meets my own, and it's not the warm, gentle gold I'm used to, but something fathomless and dark. He takes a step toward me, and my body screaming at me to protect myself, to fight. He flexes his fingers, his movements stuttering, and then he stops. Ethan. I nod slowly, taking a tentative step forward. He doesn't react, but his posture remains tense. Yes, it's me. He closes his eyes tight, his hands balled into fists at his side.
Go. You should... go.
No. His words are pained, a struggle. Suddenly the anger and uncertainty I feel from him are replaced with overwhelming sadness. He doesn't want to hurt me. He's scared he's going to hurt me. I can't possibly leave him like this. Slowly, I take another step towards him. I might be stubborn, but Finn has been there for me from the beginning. He wouldn't leave me, and I know it. As I draw nearer, he tenses further, turning his face away from me like he's ashamed. Finn, please, let me help. Tell me what to do. He shakes his head.
I don't want to hurt you. I'd never forgive myself.
I know it in my heart that he won't, that he will not. Another step, and I take stock of his own injuries, of the claw mark that cut through his chest. It's angry and deep, and apparently not healing as quickly as it should. You're hurt. Says you. I think how overwhelming the smell of my blood must be to him. Weight seep through my fingertips, dizziness starting to take hold. I reach out with the hand that isn't stained crimson, and I cup it to his face, feeling that familiar cold. He leans into it, a quiet, erect purr rumbling deep in his chest as he slowly opens his eyes. And he's transforming back. The darkness is gone, the fishes of black that had trailed his cheeks too, and now all I see is gold. Bright, beautiful, thin. I smile, letting out a quiet laugh, a sound of disbelief when I realize that we did it. We need to get you to Ezra, now. Oh, and everything's getting blurry. We did it, Finn. It's dead. It's over. Ethan? Ethan? We did it, Finn.
No. Stay with me.
What's happening? Then everything goes black.